Thanks for downloading a 3CR podcast. 3CR is an independent community radio station based in Melbourne, Australia. We need your financial support to keep going. Go to www.3cr.org.au for more information and to donate online. Now stay tuned for your 3CR podcast.
But you also had people that were very fine people. Very fine people on both sides.
And the aliens would mind meld and give them the technology. They're bad aliens. So are you surprised the Nazis were influenced by demons?
No, if demons are real, I would definitely think they'd be on the side of the Nazis.
Yeah.
McDonald's is connected to the Clintons. They chop up the bodies and put them into the sausage and hamburgers. People are being cannibalized. Look it up.
And I'm watching CNN talk about this as violent white nationalist protests. We have done everything in our power to keep this peaceful, you know?
It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol.
Welcome to Yeah Nah Pasaran, a show about fascism and its gravediggers. I'm Cam Smith.
I'm Andy Fleming.
And Andy, this week we're joined by nobody because it is our 200th episode.
Oh my God, 200 episodes, Cam.
Cause for celebration, surely. How have you been celebrating 200 episodes?
I have been watching Babylon Berlin.
Yeah, any good?
It's very good. Yeah, I highly recommend it. It may be related to, actually, I think I may have already answered a question.
Oh, no. Well, we're answering some questions from the audience this afternoon. We put some questions out into the ether, and some answers came back, and those answers were questions. So we are answering questions from the audience this week on the show in honour of 200 episodes. Andy, Question number one.
Yeah.
Asked multiple times.
What?
How long have you been doing this for, you bloody goose?
This is the fourth year for the show, is it, Cam, or the fifth?
This is... we started Yeah Nah Pasaran in 2020. We started on 3CR in 2009.
My God, that's 15 years ago.
That's 15 years. I started on the sewer show with Rhonda,
yes,
who made me prove that I wasn't a cop in a way that I can't relate on air. And I would just note that, Andy, you never asked me to prove that I wasn't a cop in that way. So take from that what thou wilt, gentlemen.
Well, you passed that test with flying colours, Cam. So, you know. I assume you're not. Are you a cop, Cam?
No.
No, okay, good. All right.
But I'd have to tell you.
Would you?
Yeah, they have to.
I thought that was sneaky.
They have to, mate.
Do they? Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, that's a surefire way of exposing cops then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you a cop?
If only the NSN had thought of doing that. Andy, how long have you been doing the anti-fascisms for?
Oh, gosh. The blog I've been doing about 20 years, but I would have had an interest in it for several years more than that. So... I don't know, since I was a teenager or something. What about you, Cam?
Well, I'm 25 now, so can't have been too long.
No.
No, it's. I'm afraid to say it's been 20 years at this as well.
Oh, really?
But it's all bearing fruit in 2024. People have never been more keen to anti the fascisms, so it all worked out.
Yeah, I guess so. We were just a little premature, maybe.
Andy, a question from the audience. Was there a defining issue or moment that made you join Soros's frontline?
When I got the first check was pretty much it. No, I think probably the first, well, I don't know. I do remember being interested in German history and anti-fascism. And I think I don't know if there's any particular moment, but when people resist, I think. And there's plenty of examples of that. So I always find those sorts of things inspirational. Was
Good
that
answer.
Pass? Yeah.
Yeah, you pass. Flying colours. Oh, okay. I can't give my answer now because it'll look petty in comparison.
No, you should. You've got to. Who, Cam? What minor infraction caused you to charge off down this road?
Oh, no, not like being made to wait for a moratorium march and becoming a lifelong Liberal senator. Nothing like that for my origin story. There were some Nazis putting up posters in my friend's neighbourhood, and we made a website taking the piss out of them. I think we had those top deck Freddo frogs. we said, under the new regime, they'll all be separated. Stuff like that. The response, I have to say, was not positive from the people being...
They have a sense of humour.
Lampooned? No, they were very very dry when it came to this.
Okay.
And that if only they hadn't done that, if they'd just be like, "Oh, good one, you got us," I would have saved myself 20 years of bother.
Yeah, I know. Oh, well. Blaming the victim, Cam. Let's look at you, Fleming. Hang on. I've got a question for you, Cam.
Oh, God, here we go.
Okay, this is from the Global Chief of Extremism Analysis and Counterterrorism, otherwise known as Major Tom Tanaki.
Oh, you dog.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready for a question from a dog. Go on.
Okay. Look, Cam, you've famously tried to steal the popularisation of the localised conspiracist term cooker from its original owner, global counterterrorism expert Major Tom. What are your thoughts on the role that disinformation plays in radicalising extremists, or would you prefer to just call it lying and stealing?
Look, Tom and I were talking a lot, and the word cooker and cooking was being thrown around. So, yes, he's the first person who said it publicly, but I planted the idea in his brain.
Okay.
Andy, have you had any favourite guests over the years? That's a little bit of a loaded one, isn't it?
It is very loaded. They've all been my favourite. What about you, Cam? That was easy to answer.
Yeah, no. Well, we can't pick out
1
out of 200.
We should, though, give a special shout-out to Jason Wilson.
Yes, who is our most often guested guest.
He has been our semi-regular correspondent, and very cheap too.
Yes. There is a related question here. How is the sausage made? What is your workflow?
Where on earth did that question come from?
I did think about this.
Okay, well, you can answer for me then, Cam?
Well, it's very simple. Firstly, I look to the Twitter list that I made 4 years ago, and it's still working quite well. And I see if anyone has written a book, and then I get a free book, and that's about it. The whole show has been a free book scam, and I'm not afraid to say that.
After 200 episodes, that's a pretty good scam.
No, we traverse the literature. We look out for new publications. We look out for early career researchers who are doing interesting work, and we contact them, and we arrange interviews, and usually I'll arrange 4 or 5 in very quick succession. And then once those are up, I will realise that I haven't booked anyone for the next week, and that's when Jason Wilson gets a call.
We also do get recommendations, though, don't we, Cam?
We do. So if anyone wants to recommend someone,
they're free to do so.
Yeah, please do. 200 shows.
Yeah.
There've been a lot of topics.
Uh-huh.
Are there any trends?
In terms of the topics we've addressed on the show?
Yeah.
I'd say that probably in terms of relatively new themes, I think a focus on religious nationalism, Christian and Hindu, has emerged more prominently in the years we've been doing the show. Also, the ways in which the state and its various agencies has responded to political, not crisis, conflict. I think there's begun to be a lot more work done on exploring how social conflict and political conflict is managed by the state and what that means for anti-fascists. What about you, Cam?
No, tech has definitely come up a lot more. Techno-fascism.
Yes.
In response to the hostile takeover of Silicon Valley, or maybe not that hostile, by the AI doomers and boomers, which has been interesting.
Maybe we should get Varoufakis on the show, talk about
World of Warcraft.
Well, we could do that, but techno-feudalism versus techno-fascism. Or digital fascism. There's lots of fascism these days.
Andy, just before we go to a song, is there anyone you'd really like to have on the program, dead or alive?
Dead or alive. Yes.
What about just dead ones and then any alive ones? I'm often reading a book and I'm like, we should get this person on the show, and it's like they died 50 years ago, which is very annoying on their part.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be difficult to conduct a lively interview with someone who's dead. However, if they were to somehow be resurrected,
it's implied in the format. Go on.
Maybe some members of the Matiotti Club. the OG Italian anti-fascists in Melbourne or Naarm. I reckon it'd be fun to talk to some of them. Various historical figures who, probably quite a few anarchists I'd want to talk to and ask them, some funny questions.
Well, Andy, let's go to a song.
All right.
Here's Kronstadt with Kronstadt.
Y yo, Kronstadt, Antipoder, 2019, dice así. Todo empezó en una fábrica textil, sin muchas fuerzas pero tantas cosas por decir. Máquina rugiendo, destruyendo mis oídos y primeras rimas agudizando sentidos. Pienso en lo vivido, miro el recorrido. Solo eres consciente de la cuesta cuando la has subido. Intenso lo sentido, lo ganado y perdido. Cuido el detalle pues solo así he aprendido. El rap me trajo sonrisa de oreja a oreja. Primer tema 7 me atravesó muros y rejas. No pude contar con mucho apoyo de amigos. Qué risa les dio el cambio de las baquetas por micro. K-R-O-N-S-T-A-D-T, nombre de guerra del que se lanza el RAP. Vomito aquello que me quema en las entrañas. Solo en un escenario hubo que echarle agallas. Odio la poesía de aquel que no se implica. No uso palabras como zorra o marica, lírica crítica con el lenguaje sexista, aunque a veces con mis fallos contribuya a que exista. Rap melancólico, rap sentimental, que no logra encajar en el canon patriarcal. Si la norma es ser un macho, dejaré de ser un hombre. ¿Quieres criticar mi grupo? Aprende a decir el nombre. Descargo sensaciones que necesitan salir. Levanto el puño al aire y en la otra mano el mic. Algunos temas hurgan en tu cicatriz. No te estoy guiñando el ojo, joder, es que tengo un tic. Me dieron un camino recto y preferí torcerlo. Me asignaron una bandera y la teñí de negro. Me encajaron en un molde pero lo rompí. Junto al manual de instrucciones que nunca leí. Trato de ser honesto en la vida y en el texto, sin presupuesto y con lo opuesto. Por supuesto, no voy de puesto pero apuesto por mí, por mi rap. Cuido de mi gente como a Frodo Sam Sagaz. No me veréis coger el micro para buscar pique, ni cantar una idea en la que no me implique. No veréis que me aparte por miedo a que me salpique. Y tampoco veréis basura entrando por mi tabique. Cuaderno en el bolsillo y mira, me sigo en la brecha. Háblame de un momento compartido y te diré la fecha. No sé si es por talante, por memoria o por apego, que los detalles se me graban como fuego. Ellos me dan fuerza y el mar inspiración. Y una socia en casa que se lee cada canción. Vivirlo todo con pasión es complicado. Hip hop y anarquía para no caer en picado. Hay que hinchar el pecho en cada camino que eliges. Gritar aunque en la garganta se te haga un esguince. MCs en peligro de extinción como el lince. Nací en Badalona 08915. Descargo sensaciones que necesitan salir. Levanto el puño al aire y en la otra mano el mic. Algunos temas hurgan en tu cicatriz. No te estoy guiñando el ojo, joder, es que tengo un tic. Descargo sensaciones que necesitan salir. Levanto el puño al aire y en la otra mano el mic. Algunos temas hurgan en tu cicatriz. No te estoy guiñando el ojo, joder, es que tengo un tic.
That was Kronstadt by Kronstadt from the album Antipoder. You are listening to Yeah Nah Pasaran on 3CR 8:55 AM, 3cr.org.au and 3CR Digital on your DAB radio. And of course, you could also listen on the Community Radio Plus app, which you can find in any good app store. Andy, we are celebrating 200 shows
200.
of Yeah Nah Pasaran.
All right.
By taking some questions from the audience. And we've got some questions about things in the news.
Okay. What's in the news, Cam?
Well, we are in March. The federal Nazi salute and swastika ban has now been in action for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
How have you found it?
I'm yet to be arrested, which is good. I think 1 or 2 may have been. Is that right, Cam?
I think that people have sort of been pinged for various things, but I don't know if anyone's been gotten by the federal one yet.
Okay. All right. Just the state ones.
Everyone stopped posting swastikas as soon as it was illegal to do so, and just started posting other symbols like the black sun, the Australian flag. Yeah, there are a lot of symbols out there that represent genocide.
Careful, Cam. You'll get into trouble. Substitute symbols are used. It's a disciplining mechanism, I suppose. The extent of its use is unknown, but obviously is not the sort of thing that's going to either stop or prevent. No, it's not going to prevent the growth of these ideas or these movements. So, yeah.
Also, potentially on the books, doxing legislation as Australia's chief doxer.
Yeah, that's you, Cam.
Or so accused.
Oh, okay.
What's your take on doxing legislation? Should doxing be outlawed? Or would it put you out of a job?
No, it wouldn't put me out of a job. No, it wouldn't put me out of a job. I do remember someone wrote something a few years ago about myself and doxing, and I didn't agree because I don't actually, in 20 years, I think I've only published one name and address, which was already public and was the headquarters of a political party. So in that sense, it's not entirely relevant. However, the circumstances under which the legislation was developed and what it's responding to, I think, suggest that it was something of a knee-jerk response. The legislation is still being crafted. There's a period of time in which the public can make submissions. I kind of half joked about making one. I haven't decided whether I'll bother or not because I just don't bother with these sorts of things normally in the normal course of events, but I might write something anyway just to kind of maybe for my own benefit clarify some of the issues around it. What do you think, Cam?
Well, it all depends. There's a few different definitions of doxing that have been proposed.
Yes.
One of which is just publishing things that people have said in private that they didn't mean to be made public, which I suspect might have an impact on journalism.
Yes.
But I am confident that, like all of these legislations, the media will ensure that journalists get a cut out.
Yeah, you think so? I do think it's an interesting question in terms of what used to be termed public interest journalism or citizen journalism. I don't think there's ever been much legal recognition or any rights or privilege conferred onto that category of person. I don't expect there will be now. What the actual impact is unknown. And certainly if somebody wants to anonymously publish online, they can do so, and they'll continue to be able to do so. I think it may present more complex matters if it's aimed at particular groups or individuals, and in this context, especially anti-fascist research groups.
Andy, a question here. What do you think will be the impact of a Trump win? Do you think it will be a bloodbath?
It won't be good. It seems like as time progresses, it's becoming increasingly likely. I think it'll be disastrous. But then I also think that some other person being elected will be marginally less worse. It really all depends on the state of popular resistance in the United States, I think.
Well, Andy, on that note, how about we go to a song?
Yeah, why not?
Here is Last Quokka from WA with Gina/Rupert. Well, that was Last Quokka with Gina/Rupert. You're listening to Yeah Nah Pasaran here on 3CR. Andy, celebrating 200 shows.
We are.
And we've got some questions asking for recommendations.
What sort of recommendations?
Well, firstly, could you tell us some of your favourite non-documentary Antifa-related films?
Antifa-related films? I suppose, the films that spring to mind are things like, Land and Freedom, I guess, or Letterias, or what else? Oh, there's a, long history of great political films which I enjoy and which relate to themes of, fascism and resistance. I don't recommend going to see Salo. It's a dreadful film.
We went and saw Come and See the other day, Andy.
Yeah, that was
not as cheery as you told me it was going to be.
Yeah, no, it was, but it was a great film.
I'd recommend Skin.
Yes.
In which Luke Cage plays our friend Daryl Lamont Jenkins.
Yes. And Green Room. That's a bit of fun.
Yeah. And then if we can break the question a little bit and give a documentary answer, people should check out My Dad the Nazi Killer, which I think will be on iView at the moment.
Oh, really? Okay.
But a fun little one about some topics that we have discussed on the radio before, the Nazis who came to Australia after the war.
Thinking they'd have a good time?
They didn't have a good time at all.
Oh, they didn't? Oh,
no.
Right, oh dear.
They were sadly mistaken
about
how good a time they might have.
That's sad.
Andy, do we have any near rivals internationally for substantive weekly eps and all things reactionary?
Well, that's a simple answer. No?
Well, I can tell you, Andy, that on the FeedSpot podcasters database, we are amongst the 30 best fascism podcasts.
30? Oh, wow. That's quite an honour.
And I will say that the list of the 30 best fascism podcasts on FeedSpot did not go up to 30, but we still made it into the top 10, I think.
Okay, that's pretty good. Have we mentioned, relevant anti-fascist podcasts before?
No, go ahead. Give us some recs.
Well, 12 Rules for What? I don't speak German. Another one that's related but not specifically anti-fascist is Know Your Enemy, which I think is good, which examines the ideology of the right, primarily in the United States. I guess assumes or takes seriously the idea that political conservatism, I guess, and the right generally have an ideological structure, and it's worthwhile trying to understand it and to situate it historically. I think that's worthwhile.
Yep, just a few down from us on the FeedSpot list is The Empire Never Ended.
Indeed, we've had those imperialists on the show before.
Yeah, It's Going Down also do a weekly podcast, which is worth checking out.
Yes.
And I would say lots of shows on 3CR that you can listen to.
Yeah, well, yes. I guess we're talking about specifically themed podcasts, Cam.
True.
Yeah. There are others, and maybe we should make a proper list and publish it. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah. I was also going to throw in some plugs for a few newsletters.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, one other podcast, Tech Won't Save Us, is pretty good. I think it might have wrapped up, but it's got quite an archive. In terms of newsletters, Garbage Day by Ryan Broderick, who we've talked to before, is good on techno-fascism. Today in Tabs is good for keeping up to date on things. And there's one other one. Jonathan M. Katz does a good newsletter. And also Byron Clark does good stuff on YouTube, and he's got a newsletter too. And I suppose, does Tom Tanaki do anything? No, I don't think so.
I think he's shut up shop a few years ago.
Don't need to bother plugging him.
No.
All right. Well, Andy, we've reached the end of our show.
Already?
We have. We've got one last song.
Okay.
And we'll be back next week with episode 201.
Yes. We'll see you then. Thanks for listening.
Here's Layla McCullough with Money is King. See you later.
Bye-bye.
If a man has money today, people don't care if he has Coco Bay. If a man has money today, people don't care if he has Coco Bay. He can commit murder and get off free, live in the governor's company. But if you are poor, people tell you, shoot, A dog is better than you. Into the store, the boss will shake his hand at the door. Call 10 lads to take down anything. Whiskey, cloth, earring, and diamond ring. Send it to your home on a motorbike. You can pay the bill whenever you like, and not a soul will ask you a thing. They know very well that money is king. Take a bone, foul head, stale bread, fish tail and poon. If it's a good breed and not too wild, people will take it in mind as a child. But when a hungry man goes out to bed, they send a bulldog behind his leg. 20 policemen will take him down too. You see how a dog is better than you. A man has money today, people don't care if he has Coco Bay. He can commit murder and get off free, rise to the seat of the presidency. But if you are poor, people tell you, shoot, a dog is better than you.
Everyone is invited to come along to a very special event in support of refugees and people seeking asylum on Sunday the 24th of March. This year, the Palm Sunday Walk for Justice for Refugees has a new venue and time and will be calling for peace. Come to the Parliament Gardens near Parliament House at 10 a.m. for music by the wonderful Tarab Ensemble, followed by readings on justice and peace from different faith traditions. Speakers include refugees, Sister Bridget Arthur from the Brigidine Asylum Seeker Project, Tanya Miletic, Assistant Director of the University of Melbourne's Initiative for Peacebuilding, and David Mann from Refugee Legal. Walk to the CBD and return to the gardens for more music finishing around 12:30 p.m. Palm Sunday Walk for Justice for Refugees, Sunday the 24th of March, 10 a.m. at Parliament Gardens. The Refugee Advocacy Network is a 3CR supporter.
3CR's Trans Day of Audibility returns for its third year running in 2024. Listen up as Community Radio's foremost gendermongers bring you all the very best of transgender lives, loves, culture and politics.
Tapestry. Tally up the same.
12 to 4 p.m, March 31st, Easter Sunday.
When your dreams come true, they feel distressingly alive.
3CR's Trans Day of Audibility. Tune in on AM, digital or online, or join us in person at 21 Smith Street, Fitzroy for live performances and friends.
Where nobody has a pulse but me.